Life under President Donald Trump has been interesting, to say the very, very least. And one of the more interesting parts of it to me isn't necessarily the Russia scandal that the liberal media, that MSNBC and CNN and HuffPo and BuzzFeed, that they're running with 24/7. That they're always talking about 24/7. It's the other side, the pro-Trump narrative, Fox News, and how they just ignore like everything, unless it's the P tape, in which case Sean Hannity all the time brings that stuff up, right? Like, watch the supercut of Sean Hannity talking about P-tape and hookers. You will laugh your ass off. And the whole point there is that Fox is a propaganda machine. They make no mistake about that. They used to be fair and balanced. They've since dropped that label a long time ago. And it even has gotten as far as this right here, where a shamed Fox News commentator quits, calls the network a propaganda machine. Now, this is, and look at this guy, this image here. This is Lieutenant Colonel Ralph Peters. Lieutenant Colonel. Ain't like no Michelle Malkin schmuck. You know what I mean? Ain't no Cucker Tarleson. All right, this is the Lieutenant Colonel who's like, I have made a serious error in my judgment. Now, it says here that Ralph Peters, a retired lieutenant colonel for the Army and until recently a Fox News strategic analyst, decided to leave his post at the station after finally having a moment of clarity. Peters' departure was first reported by BuzzFeed News, which obtained a copy of an email announcing his departure and detailing his reason to his colleagues, saying, "Today I feel that Fox News is assaulting our constitutional order and the rule of law while fostering corrosive and unjustified paranoia among viewers," Peters wrote in an email. "Over my decade at Fox, I was long proud of the association. Now I am ashamed." Now, obviously, he's referring to current events, but let's kind of take a quick hop in the old time machine and go back 10 years. Who was just coming out on Fox around 2009, 2010? Who was getting big? And I mean like big. Glenn Beck. Now, Glenn Beck was a fantastic pusher of fake news, right? This dude would give you helicopter rides with fake news. He was wonderful at it, and he was able to spin narratives and bullshit to the point of where it effectively brought about the Tea Party, something that America is still dealing with almost a decade later. And as a result of that, it took Lieutenant Colonel Ralph Peters until this point to kind of get there. But I mean, everyone hits that point sometime, but it's not like Fox is just all of a sudden now in the market of pushing BS. Every major news outlet pushes BS, let's be fair. But the kind of stuff Fox does, man, it just watch the documentary Outfoxed. All I'm going to say about that. Now, he continued by saying he thought Fox News denigrated from providing legitimate and much needed outlet for conservative voices to a mere propaganda machine for a destructive and ethically ruinous administration. Those are some shots being fired. It says, hard to believe it took him this long to realize it, but be assured he hasn't had the total change of heart. Peters, who was briefly suspended from the network several years ago for calling then President Obama a total pussy on live TV over his terrorism strategy, used his goodbye letter to take a dig at him one last time while simultaneously bashing Trump and Fox News hosts. And hey, listen, here's the thing. I can actually kind of respect this dude for firing a parting shot at Obama on his way out the door. I can. I really honestly can. Because what you've got here is you got him playing both sides. He's all like, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. None of y'all cool. I'm out. That's what he's doing essentially. And he's just, everyone gets it. And that's good. That's actually really, really, really good. Because then it shows the average person who might be watching that, oh, wait, or might be reading or hearing about this. Like, oh, wait, maybe not everyone at Fox is as partisan as they like. And maybe not everyone at MSNBC is as partisan as they say. So maybe there's a possibility there of having some kind of centered discourse here. And as a centrist myself, I'm in favor of that. Now, as it says here, as a Russia analyst for many years, it has also appalled me that hosts who made their reputations as super patriots and who justifiably savaged President Obama for his duplicitous folly with Putin now advance Putin's agenda by making light of the Russia penetration of our elections and the Trump campaign. Now, if you watch Fox News at all, especially in regards to this particular story, it is glossed over. It is just like, hey, what's going on? Is that a Russia story? See ya, bye. It's just, they basically shy away from it on Fox and Friends. Hannity will bring it up, but again, as I said, watch the supercut of the hookers and P-tape stuff, and he uses it as a very kind of outrageous defense of Donald Trump. But I think that's why he does it. I think he keeps bringing it up because it's so outrageous in certain senses that it's just kind of like so stupid no one would believe that it's real. And as I've reportedly said, or I've said many, many times before, is I hope that it's real. Not for the reasons you might think, but because I do happen to think that if you are that mad at somebody and you pay a hooker to pee on the bed, that's kind of a baller move. Because it kind of is. So I'm just saying. If he's got like, you know, like a stack of rubles, I'd be all like, vote Trump 2020, man. Seriously, I'd consider it. Because like, just own up to that, man. But says Fox wasn't going to let Peters just trash talk the network. However, saying he was using his opinion as a weapon in order to gain attention. With Jeremy Barr getting a statement here from Fox saying that Ralph Peters is entitled to his opinion despite the fact he's choosing to use it as a weapon in order to gain attention. We are extremely proud of our top-rated primetime hosts and all of our opinion programming. Yeah, I understand why Fox has to say that, and I get that, but at the same time, come on. The only like person that's on your network that's even like remarkably centered is like Shep Smith. And you only pay to keep him around so you can still kind of argue that you're somewhat fair and balanced. That's why you got him on at 4 p.m. when no one watches. He's up against Chris Matthews on MSNBC. And I don't even know who the hell's on at 4 p.m. at freaking CNN. I don't watch none of that crap. I do not like CNN. But here's the full statement. It's kind of a long one, but I think we owe it to the story to go through the whole thing. On March 1st, I informed Fox I would not renew my contract. The purpose of this message is twofold. First, I must thank each of you for your cooperation and support you've shown me over the years. Those working off camera, the bookers and the producers, don't often get the recognition you deserve, and I want you to know that I've always appreciated the challenges you face and the skill in which you master them. Second, I feel compelled to explain why I have to leave. 4 decades ago, I took an oath as a newly commissioned officer. I swore to support and defend the Constitution, and that oath did not expire when I took off my uniform. Today, I feel that Fox News is assaulting our constitutional order and rule of law, while fostering corrosive and unjustified paranoia among viewers. Over my decade with Fox, I was long proud of my association. Now I am ashamed. In my view, Fox is denigrated from providing legitimate and much-needed outlet for conservative voices to a mere propaganda machine for a destructive and ethically ruinous administration. When primetime hosts who have never served our country in any capacity dismiss facts and empirical reality to launch profoundly dishonest assaults on the FBI, the Justice Department, the courts, the intelligence community in which I served, and not least a model public servant and genuine war hero such as Robert Mueller, all while scaremongering with lurid warnings of deep state machinations. I cannot be part of the same organization, even at a remove. To me, Fox News is now wittingly harming our system of government for profit. Damn. That's a statement. I don't care who you are. That is a burn. As a Russia analyst for many years, it also appalled me that hosts who made their reputations as super patriots and who justifiably savaged President Obama for his duplicitous folly with Putin now advance Putin's agenda by making light of Russian penetration of our elections and the Trump campaign. Despite increasingly pathetic denials, it turns out that the nothing burger has been covered with Russia dressing all along. Oh, man, he's just letting him have it. And by the way, as an intelligence professional, I can tell you that the Steele dossier rings true. And that's how the Russians do things. The result is that we have an American president who is terrified of his counterpart in Moscow. Oh, oh, wow, man. That is just, oh, geez, that's pretty funny. That's pretty funny. This is going to be interesting stuff here. I do not apply the above criticisms in full to Fox Business, where the numerous hosts retain a respect for facts and maintain a measure of integrity, nor is every host at Fox a propaganda mouthpiece has shown some courage. Some have shown courage. I have enjoyed and valued my relationship with Fox Business. I will miss the number of hosts and staff members. You're the grown-ups. I mean, like, yeah, I've never had an issue with Fox Business either. I also deeply respect the hard news reporters at Fox who continue to do their best as talented professionals in a poisoned environment. These are some of the best men and women in the business. So to you all, thanks, as our president's favorite world leader would say, das vidanya. Come on. Like, come on. Pro-Trump, anti-Trump, you got to admit, that is like fucking hardcore. That is some burns. That is just like salting the earth on your way out. That is walking over with pictures of you fucking Sean Hannity's mother and just putting him out to like, bam! Like, that's hardcore right there. That is great. Okay, like, here's the deal. Fox obviously is going to protect their own. I get that. You know, they're going to protect their primetime lineup. But the thing is, every news organization is in it for money. Every pundit that comes on to talk is in it for money. They're all being paid to be there. But when you have a lieutenant colonel who pulls out the 4 decades ago, I swore an oath to the Constitution, and that did not stop when I took off my uniform, and he looks at the world around him, his business around him, and where it's gone, and what's being done, and what's being said, and how it's being swept under the rug, and how it's being treated, and he basically pulls like a double birdie and walks out, that is significant. That is incredibly significant. Now, unfortunately, they're going to be the diehard Trump supporters that are going to walk away from this and be like, well, he's just pulling the Russian narrative and none of it makes no damn sense. And you're right to have, you can have that opinion. Clearly, you're entitled to your opinion. And that's fine. I don't want you to even remotely think that, I don't, that's not the whole point. The point is Fox is becoming Breitbart but TV. We know this because they're running sensationalist headlines like Breitbart, and they're doing this to kind of capitalize on the outrage that people online that they like, that they want, that they crave in many cases. People on the right and people on the left, when it comes to these kind of stories, man, they freaking love that outrage. And I'm not going to lie. When I look for stories to talk about, I look for things that are interesting or things that might, in fact, somewhat outrage me. Because that is when I put on my best performance, when I'm telling you guys and talking to you guys. And that's a lot of what people want. They want to feel something. And so they kind of, sensationalist headlines will draw you in. It's clickbait, but you have to do it. Terrible. No one really wants it. But no one really wants the whole story in the byline. Trust me, I get accused of that all the time. Like, I don't watch Matt's videos anymore because he puts the whole freaking story in the title. So it's like, well, you want me to clickbait, but you get mad when I clickbait. That's the cycle I'm talking about. But they've become that version of Fox, that version of Breitbart. That version of the Gateway Pundit, that version of Drudge Report, you know, where they just keep creating this type of sensationalist, I don't want to call it nonsense. Not all of it's nonsense, but these sensationalist headlines that draw you in, and that permeates, or that transfers over to Fox, because Fox will look at that and go, but yeah, but they're getting views. They're making money. We got to do that. And don't get me wrong, 24/7 cable news has been fear-mongering and scaremongering for years. So, like, they're pretty good at their own thing as well. But they know that the viewers are tuning in online. They know this. There's no denying that the numbers are shifting in that direction. So how do they keep them there? Well, they up their game. And that's one of the reasons why you can tell that Lieutenant Colonel Ralph Peters walked away. And I'll probably catch a little crap for saying this, but this man truly is an American hero. He is speaking truth to power, not the government, but the media, and saying that you have abandoned your objectivity. You've abandoned what you set out to do. And instead, you've replaced it with yes men and propaganda for the White House. And also, fuck you, I'm out. Hey, thanks for making it to the end of the video. If you haven't already, thumbs it up, hit on that subscribe, check out 3 Buck Theater, check out Mundane Chats, or if you just want to help support the channel, the best way to do that is patreon.com/mundanematt, link below in the video description. Thank you guys again, have yourself a great day, and peace out.